with Monsoono College. And now we're going to go to the chorus. So here's the chorus. I got a little echo, but I'm just trying to sing, ling, 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 ling. Here's the chorus. So we got this chorus. It's a chorus from two chords. It really is, from me jamming, if you take an A minor 7, remember I don't need the A there, here's a 7, here's a minor 3, here's a 5, here's an A. And if I just move these two top notes, C and E, to B and D, and then move up this bass note to E, I have an E minor 7. So I have a common tone of G. I jam these two chords, A minor, E minor 7, A minor 7, here's the 7, here's the 7 of E. But just look at the over and over in all kinds of different places, not only there, but you know, all inversions. For a long time in my life. So this would be obviously two chords, A minor 7 and an E minor 7, that I would want to go to in Monsoono College, the next part, or the chorus, however you want to call it, because this does return to this part. So, so it comes back to this part. So I would like to go through it. I just played it kind of myself before I turn on the camera here, and let me tell you, it's squishy and complicated and broken, a lot of broken chords of A minor and E minor and some other chords. So I think what I'm going to do is just first take you through the chords, and we're just going to once again, not even paying attention to all the 16th notes that are happening in the bass line, because the bass line is a really easy pattern. It just looks like a lot of notes, but let's just take a look at the top and look how basically blind I am, taken out of, I'm just like completely taking out all the notes of the A minor 7 2. Here's an A, 2, minor 3, 4, 5, 7, 2, and I took everything out except for the 4 and the 2. But in the bass, as you can see, some of those notes are covered. There's a 2, there's a minor 3, but that's for a later moment, as I said. So here I have this melody on, and I'm just going to play the bass note of the letter, the bass note of the letter of the chord. I'm sorry. Just holding that, and see how like stripped down it is from this. I'm just playing these two notes. Now watch how when I come down from that, I start picking up more of them. But it started out at this: A minor 7, A minor 7, 2, 2. 4. That a beautiful chord. I love that chord. And then I still developed the same thing from the same A minor 7 to E minor 7, but in the E minor 7, all those notes, the 4, the 2, are all added to the 7. Here's the 2, here's the 4, and I can duplicate it. In that, this from here. Isn't that cool sounding? A minor 7, still an A minor 7, 2, with a lot added, with the 4 and the 2 added, 4 and the 2 added. Isn't that cool? Actually, you don't need the letter name in the right hand because you got it in the left hand, because it's the guitar part we're talking about here. Picking up, but look how stripped down it is to make a melody out of it. I just went right down into this line right here on the E minor. Look at that crawl. Every single legal possible note that you could play in an E minor 7. A minor 7. A minor 7. Look at that. Look at those melody notes. All right, let's see this in the larger view. So it gives you a better view this way. So let me just make sure. So I have something I do. Hold on. Clink. All right, I get an even clearer view. All right, so here, again, I'm just going to play the A minor. And then the E minor 7. And then the A minor 7. It's just an A minor and E minor. But then the next time I was just on A minor, and then I went to E minor. A minor, yeah, A minor 7-2-4. Then you say, oh, he's going to do an E minor thing again. Well, not quite. I decided to chromatically go the opposite direction, starting with, yes, a nice, it's actually a fraction chord. Notice there's a no chord up here. NC, no chord. No chord. Because what I started right here was kind of a D with an E bass, but then I went up from it, and I'm going to make it a full chord. And I went up from it chromatically, neighbor. Right? I always call these my chromatic crazy moments that I just love doing chromatics. And I start again with a fraction chord here, a D with an E bass, but then watch, in the left hand I go down, and in the right hand I go up, chromatic neighbor wise. So I'm going down. Oh, it turns out it turns into a regular E flat chord, but I'm not going to label it because watch, here's an E with an E bass, but I'm not going to keep on talking about it. Here's some cool chord. Look at this one. So what do I say here? It's really fun on the piano to just take a chord and go. I started with an A chord. Just wake up, play A chord. Went down in the chromatically, and up chromatically in the right hand guitar part. And you can start anywhere. Just to see it and to be able to do it, it's a nice fun thing. Well, anyways, I actually incorporated it into the song, Monsoono College, and I start with the, of course, this right here, and I went da da, short long, 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 until I got back to, I crawled. I got all the way down to this far, and then I decided, oh, I better hop back to A minor 7-2-4, and then I'm gonna crescendo the chorus with the melodic climb. Here's the E minor 7-2-4. I don't pay attention to the bass note. We're just playing bass line that's written there. All the 16th notes. We're just playing the solid chord. And that it does resolve to a D. So the E minor now is, and the A minor is kind of resolving. It's done, it's A minor, it's A minor, A minor. And then it, to D, it actually makes it a, you're waiting for it kind of sound. You're waiting for it. And then back to the A minor. And it's the whole melody is, the whole chorus, I mean, is from here again, is, listen to it. Ding, 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 that part. And then it crawls out of it. The chord here is in the same hand position. I'm just breaking it apart. All right, I just stretch the C there. All right, and then look, I just take the same chord just to make a rhythm to fill the time. All right, here we're going. Watch this one. Here it goes. Short, long, short, long, short. As long as far as I can go in time. Oh, I just did stretch it back to A minor 7-2-4. Do I follow the top notes here? E minor 7-2-4 to a D2. Just a really happy D. A minor 7-2-4. And then I start a chromatic thing. And this resolves to an A major 7 with a B bass. And then I take it and I crawl that up. And I crawl that up again. And I crawl that up again. Look at those big 5-note chords. But what are they? They're fractions. Here's an A major 7 with the A in. Now remember, I always want to say this. If you ever played any of my music and you can't play that wide, which is like it's a 2, you know, above an 8 in the next block. If you can't reach that far, and especially with notes in between, what do? Take the top notes. Just play the top notes. It'll sound just as fine. This one note down here does add a little bit, but this, believe me, here, even with a fraction, I don't know where the piano is. So if you can't reach that A, see, that's when I got going. And I even use my thumb when I can, just to get a little bit of flatness in between that stretch, so I don't have to move around that, because that's a legal note right there. It is the fraction of the thing. So it's an A major 7 with a B bass, a B flat major 7 with a C bass, a B major 7 with a C sharp bass, and a C major 7 2, I should say, with a D bass. And then I crawl back down. But I've split it up with a 5th off of the bass. But even though I'm not using it here, I'm using it in the melody. Hit the 5th of the bass. The 5th of the bass. The 5th of the bass in the melody. Hear that? I like that. What if you broke it? I have to turn the page. Oh yeah, just calling. Look, I started fists. I started actually doing fists in the off of the 5th. I went to a root, and that, by the way, this is kind of a little key here, ding, of the chorus in the trick of the bass. It's based a lot on fifths. It's a ton of fifths. So here I am using some more fifths, but in a different way. I'm hitting the bass note of the whatever I'm going to here, and then I'm fifthing the 5th of what I'm going to. The 5th is G, like here C is G, but then what's the 5th above G is D. So I'm going from a root, and then I'm fifthing it with a full 5th of whatever that note is, a 5th away. So it's a 5th and a 5th. 5th, 5th. I don't have enough time to go in between that, but I do during this part. Watch it. See the 5th? The 5th? Look at the left hand. I usually flop all over the place. I keep the left hand going to a trill. Broken chord. Isn't that fun? It's so great, just crawling it. Why those notes? Because I experimented all over the place, and that's what I came up with all those notes. You know, I think that's pretty cool. So, anyways, I get there, or I'm just going on the 5th, 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 5th. A lot of fifths. This is a whole bass. Keep doing. Look at that bass nose, just keeps doing the same. Whether I'm doing this, jumping the 5th, like it was right on this page. Alright, see it? Triplet. I'm just crawling up the chords. That's a kind of a, I found those just notes of just chromatic neighbor to get to that beginning of. Look how high that's written with all those ledger lines. Oh, wow. Here it is. Ooh. Here we are. fifth, fifth, fifth. I like the way it goes, you know, fifth, chord, chord, fifth, chord, chord, fifth, chord, triplet, all just chromatic neighbored chord of the fraction. I think an A major with B bass. So there you go. And then breaking the part. As I was talking about the little trilling or broken chord with it. So it goes to the the sixth, the happy sixth, the crawling chromatically. Isn't that just happy? Yeah. 1, 6, 1, 2, 1. 16th note triplets. And where's it going? Where is this going to? This is the resolution of it. It's an E flat, I would call it E flat 6, happy 2, open, and then this is like a G6, you know, G flat 6. So it goes to E flat, like a regular E flat chord, to a G flat, to an A flat with a B flat bass. So that's what's really happening here. There's a big E flat, and then look at the chords here, and then we're looking at a G flat, a 6, you know, I'm really happy. And then A flat with a B flat bass. Then back to an E flat, really nice open, 2, the way originally how I did it. It was a nice 6-2. But on top of it, I did a kind of a, you know, I'm just coming out of this. And I'm just going to go to that resolution of the E flat, but I'm going to make it a kind of a, that, you know, that minor 3-3, minor 3-3, minor 3. Just, and look at the notes I'm playing in, all the common of the E flat. I'm using the 7. Just in my fingers just laying it. And I made a bass line like this, all on the flat notes. And that timed out with the E flat part, 2, 3, 4, and then look what I do in the G flat right here, G flat, and then it goes to a D flat as a walk. It is the G flat 2. There's a 2, and then E flat. Get it where I'm coming? This is a jam on top of, look at all those, just playing all those flats. I'm just like, don't forget, we're doing here, always written in the key of C and Studio E. That's because every measure just reminds you what to do, but you have to remember within a measure. That's all you have to remember, just within the measure. Don't let the computer do it and sharp it or flat it, and you can decide enharmonically how you want to do it, but it's a cool thing, measure by measure, because it changes every measure, and it can go from flats to sharps easily, as you can see here. And it's a cool thing because, but you only have to remember that these are still flatted. It's really just a twirl right at the twirl, and it just, as I'm walking that bass line, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It just works out, you know, because G flat is 2 counts, and the A flat with a B flat bass. And by the way, the A flat B flat bass, I'm going B flat G flat just to get down. So this is the bass line, and on top of it, I'm going to play it. Now this brings a point. This is where the tempo is really set of the song. So if you're going fast, you know, you're going, you're like here. listen to how fast I have to play with this one finger. Because time has to be steady. It has to be steady. So when you're doing that, the build, as I said, right before this E flat part, this B flat part, B, A major 7, right starting right here. Right? That part, before I get to this part. See, you don't want it too fast, so you gotta time yourself out, and that's how I was just playing the climb to that. Here we go. And I'm just going to turn the page here, and I'm also going to play the bass line up an octave. Here in the top page now. You see that? Watch it. What do you see in common in that? All flats. Did you notice it a lot? I was always playing all flats at the top, because when you're playing flat on the bottom, you can play flat on the top. Anywhere. Because it's pentatonic. But anyways, yes. So that's, but this is bass on. Except when I go between the one natural, which is the happy, that it occurs in the E flat part, or the G flat. And we just played this over again, and I kept remembering those chords as I am spread this way, as I'm spelled this way. I always call them my 4 chords, you know, fourths, and then a fourth. I love them. Look at the 4th chord, all fourths. Except for the last one, which changes a little bit in between to a regular A flat full chord with a B flat bass. Well, isn't that cool? And then as I jammed it over the years, it became, hear it? I only have 2 counts, because in the beginning it went 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you only had 2 count on that G flat and 2 count on the A flat with the B flat bass, but it had 4 count on the E flat part. So I have 4 chords. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And it's counting, counting and playing is forte. But playing on all those, or is my forte. I love playing with all those, and then putting a natural in there. This one's happened to be G with all these notes. Now here's a riff that I made on this. That you can say it's just on all the flats. Except if I just add all the flats, and I have occasionally I put a natural in there. I have all the flats but a natural. It makes the E flat blues scale, E flat blues street. So in other words, if you have all the flats and you put A in there, before we were doing all the flats and we were putting G in there. Now we're putting all the flats and putting A in there to make this riff. Watch this, it's cool. Right on it. That's a cool note in the blues note. And I'm starting right on it. Let's go back up. Now here, I like to just use any, when I do this, I just go anywhere on that. But you can, this I made is a G flat if you want, you know, G flat. It is a G flat with an A flat bass. But I just go anywhere on any of the flats. And just keeping an A flat in the bass, and then going to B in the bass. Now I have it, I nice neatly putting it in there, but a lot of times I just go. So I'm sorry. This riff that I made. So this riff. Oh, that's right. Go back up. Then I just go into this. See here, I'm just doing this. I'm just moving it really, but on the written here, I have written something very, very nice G flat with it. It is a G flat with an A flat bass. It is a G flat with an A flat bass. I agree with that. But it's better. I just like playing all the flats with a B in the bass, and then yes, I do make this an A with a B bass, but also could be even a B major 7 with a B bass. See, I can just play all the. But it is that technical chord that it comes from a G flat with an A flat bass to an A with a bass, B bass. But when I play it, a lot of times I'm just playing all the flats. That's why I'm holding A flat down and holding B down, and then changing to E flat, E flat minor 7/2. The chords are, this is a complicated section because it's a transitional section back to the beginning of the chorus, or the verse, I guess you could say the verse, or the section, this part. And so we're getting there, and we have these 4 chords we have to do. One's a G flat with an A flat bass, the next is A with a B flat bass, the next is a G flat minor, B flat minor 7C. I have a G flat, but I have an E flat in the bass, so it's an E flat minor bass. And then I have a D7 plus 4. D7 plus before I get back to the A minor. So, but I have to do these 4 chords, and how do I do them, and what do I do? So I just go. E flat minor 7, D7 plus 9 plus 4 plus 4. I just do it a whole different ways. How do I come out of that? I just like to hit. Oh, I know what it was. I go all twice down, then I go up here. The E flat minor 7. And I just kind of change it to squish to a. It has a little 6 in there of the D7 plus 4. I just crawl it, you know. I always like to know where all the notes are, and I just kind of just wiggle around on them, just find them, you know. Let me go back. And that's what this section does. And it goes back to the A minor, as I said at the beginning of the verse, and so, or the section, the next section. So it's just a lot of jamming. Here is, again, I have this B as with an A, and it is in B bass, but when I'm just playing it, you'll see me playing it live, but yes, it is a B, A with a B bass, then an E flat minor 7, minor 7 2, then a D7 plus 9, 6, there's a 6 in there. You see how I'm just breaking it to it's very top, and then boom, into A minor again. It's great. It's then back to A minor, A minor, and E minor 2. It goes right back to that section. So this is you know, here we come from the chorus part of this really jamming of a jam. You know, everyone's just jamming and everything else like that. And then, you know, you gotta get a step back. You know, we build to it out of the verse, or that section to. And I'll turn this page. Oh. And then hamburgers. We used to call it cooking hamburgers section. Cooking hamburgers. And this riff with the E flat blues scale. Just go back up. Then let's just hit it basic A flat in the bottom. And do the same thing with an A flat. Look, I'm just rocking my hands on any of the flat notes, but I have a B in the bass now. Next page. Now here's an E flat, but I'm just gonna start down at the bottom and go just crawling to the top. Now I kind of pick up what's written. So really, you know, this part, you know, I agree, it's just like dried. mean, it's written nice. I had to just write it like that. These 4 transitional chords before I go back to the verse, coming out of the chorus or whatever. This section's to, oh, this other part of the section. After we've been all this partying stuff like that, it just goes into this transitional A flat bass, basically a G flat on the top, and a B bass with A with a quarter in the top, and then E flat minor 7 right here. E flat minor 7, all of this going just to demonstrate it's happening at this time. Time being 50% of music, it's happening into this D7 plus 4 crawled up the top. Yes, and then to the verse. Oh, I'll talk about that bass. That's what we need to talk about. Yeah, that bass is cool. Jamming.